no ka no ko wei yamai mo mokamule hweyam taka hweyam no ka no ko wei Asho tarela no mona aqua tarela no se a nonka no ko we yamai mo moka muli hweyam taka hweyam. Oh, to Ono Kat Mukad, great weaver, we thank you for this beautiful day and for all that you have given us. Cham shun polov kala, oik chongai, cham hikshangai, chon hikshash om o vivo. Our hearts are grateful for every breath, for we know that every breath is a gift from you. You are aware of us with such love. May we be aware of each other in the same loving way and know we here are all connected. And in that connectedness, we are strong. We are strengthened. We ask you, O great weaver, to encircle us with all that is good. Send us the sacred winds to join us and surround us in a gentle way. From the wind of our homeland, send us the west wind to bring us the blessings of the ocean and her healing waters. And from the north, the sacred wind that gives us the ability to listen like the deer, but in such a way that we hear the beating of hearts and words that are never spoken out loud. And from the east, send us the wind that carries the golden eagle, the great Asud, on its heavenly current. May we have such faith. May we have such vision as the glorious winged one. And from the south, send us the medicine of the red wolf, the place of family and community, where we acknowledge that we here are all related. May your sacred winds bless us and give us strength and courage as we also honor the sky above and the Milky Way that sparkles at twilight with the peaceful gazes of our holy ancestors. We cherish you, O Holy Mother Earth, firm below us. Hold us up this day with your gentleness, and though you have power and strength beyond our imagination, you also hold the secrets of the soft rustling of the leaves in the trees and the soft fall of the gentle rain. Bless those whom we celebrate tonight, just as those who come down from the mountain after a great vision quest. Guide their feet, for we ask their paths be made smooth. However, when stones block their path, give them the wisdom to know what to do and how to be. And may it always be remembered. What is done tonight will reach into the future for the generations to come. A'amun, a'amun, amen. Ha, aho.
Hello and welcome. I want to thank the Reverend Adelia Sandoval for opening with our invocation this evening. She is the spiritual overseer, or Po'ul, and the cultural director for the Ahashiman Nation, the Juaneño band of Mission Indians indigenous to this area. And she is my friend, and we are so honored by your presence. Thank you. Can we give her a thank you? It is pure joy for me to maybe be the first to congratulate you this weekend, class of 2023. Yay. People have asked me what is baccalaureate, so I'll just tell you briefly. the baccalaureate service is believed to have originated at Oxford University in 1432, when each graduate was required to deliver a sermon in Latin. Any volunteers? Some years later, it then morphed into a sermon given to the graduates, which was 4 hours long. I promise we will not do that. Since Chapman's inception, the baccalaureate service has been held in conjunction with commencement every single year. And in recent years, it's emerged as an interfaith, intercultural service, celebrating and honoring each student. So we are here to bracket out this time to honor you, your journey, and your purpose. We are here at Baccalaureate to take a breath, to share this hour present, focused, together. Ancient wisdom tells us there is a time to turn from our busy preoccupations in time, like studying and preparing for commencement, to attune to what is meaningful in time, to turn from the ephemeral to contemplate the enduring, the everlasting, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation. So I invite you in this next hour to turn to focus on mystery, the depths of wisdom within and around each of us. Val Schmirkovsky is here. And I will say, I learned, Val, about this quality of meaning in time by reading your book, I'll Never Change My Name. As you described your time, best times that you spent teaching. And as you're teaching, or even meeting fans who just stood in long lines to meet you, it was not ever simply about winning or being the best. It was about truly connecting with people. And I know you'll have a lot more to share with us this evening. And Antonique Smith is here. Yes. Antonique, the first time I heard you sing in Los Angeles, I just began to think how wonderful it would be to have you in this space. So here you are. This Fish Interfaith Center and the Wallace All Faith Chapel have many, many incredible artistic and architectural qualities, one of which you can see is the kind of floating ceiling. And something tells me that after this evening, it's going to be floating just a little bit higher after we hear Antonique and Val. I invite you to silence your cell phones and just settle in. We'll have a short presentation by some of you graduates, thank you so much, who are here with us this evening. And the rest of you as graduates will actually have an opportunity to reflect upon your time at Chapman and your own purpose and your own service as you move forward. I want to thank the staff and the chaplains here at the Fish Interfaith Center and the multiple volunteers who will guide you through this hour. We are just so blessed by the presence of each person here. It's now my deep pleasure to introduce one more star in our midst with my deep admiration and gratitude, and that is President Daniele Strupa.
Good evening, everybody. Well, congratulations to the class of 2023. I know that tomorrow there are still some finals. I hope none of you still has to do them, but if you do, good luck for tomorrow. Don't make that final mistake that compels us not to give you the degree. Or actually, we'll give it to you and then take it back. We don't want to do that. So I'm here to honor you, to salute you for what you have done. And this to me is really a wonderful event. It's the opening of this fantastic weekend of celebration. And as I was talking before with the Reverend, I said this is the spiritual moment. And then as of tomorrow gets a little bit more rowdy, okay? And people get a little bit more excited. But it's nice to have this moment in which we come together and reflect on the importance of what you all have done. As you know, Chapman University has 4 pillars. You've been here at least 4 years. So you walk in the Atala Piazza and you've seen them all, the intellectual, physical, social, and spiritual. And tonight is the night that is dedicated to the spiritual pillar. We think this is very important. It's important for your experience at Chapman, but even more is important for the future of your life. You will encounter, the Reverend talked about the stones that you will encounter, and then we hope you have the wisdom to know what to do. There will be plenty of those. That's how life is. And that's when it's going to be your spiritual strength that will carry you over. It's not really necessarily going to be what you learn. It's not going to really be how strong you are physically, but it's going to be your ability to look within inside yourself and find the strength. So we wish you that strength. We are very proud because this baccalaureate service is co-sponsored by every college here at Chapman, as well as the Leatherby Libraries, the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and the Rogers Center for Holocaust Education. This gives you an idea of how strongly felt this event is. I have a few people that I'd like to acknowledge before I take my seat and enjoy our artists and then the celebration for you. We have 2 members of our Board of Trustees, our Chair Emeritus, Doy Henley, and yes, we can definitely applaud. And the chairman of our advancing committee, Irv Chase, and his wife, Nancy. I see down there hiding one of the members of our board of governors, Biki Singh. Thank you, Biki, for being here. And we also have many members of the administration. I'd like to ask you to hold the applause until the end. So I mention all the name. We have Jamie Seaman with her husband Todd. She's the Vice President of Strategic Marketing and Communications. All the flags that you see on campus are coming from her office. Ellen Norris, her husband Gordon. She's the Vice President and CIO, Chief Information Officer. Reg Stewart, Vice President of DEI, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Jerry Price, I'm sure you know that guy very well. The Vice President, doesn't mean you got in trouble. Is that what I have to sort of mean? So Vice President, Dean of Student Affairs. Julia Ongaro, our Dean of the College of Performing Arts. Kevin Ross, Dean of the Leatherby Libraries. Stephanie Takaragawa, Associate Dean of the Wilkinson College. Ren Ostrom, Dean of the School of Pharmacy, and the Dean Emerita of the Leatherby Libraries, Charlene Baldwin. And finally, Marilyn Harran, Director of the Rogers Center for Holocaust Education. I thank you all for being here tonight, for joining us, and let's give them a round of applause. And of course, I'm so happy to have with us our guest, Val and Antonique, for what is going to be a wonderful performance. And then I know that there are going to be students introducing them, so I leave you to them, and thank you again for being here, and again, congratulations.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ramzi Elshouk, and I have the honor of introducing Antonique Smith. Antonique Smith is an acclaimed Broadway, film, and television actor, Grammy-nominated artist and songwriter, and a passionate social, climate, and environmental justice advocate. She gained attention in her leading role in Rent on Broadway, playing Mimi Marquez. She has starred in many works, including Notorious, and she appeared in the TV anthology series Genius in season 3 as Aretha Franklin's mother, Barbara Franklin. She believes that the arts and culture is a crucial intersection necessary to effect change in the world. I agree, by the way. She works tirelessly to use art as a means of raising awareness and inspiring new generations of people committed to creating solutions for critical environmental, social, and economic issues facing our world. Please give a round of applause to Antonique Smith.
Amazing introduction. Thank you so much. Honored to be here. I believe the words to this song is very poignant for the next journey that you're on. Rise.
I won't just survive. Oh, you will see me thrive. Can't write my story. I'm beyond the archetype. I won't just conform. No matter how you shake my core, 'cause my roots, they run deep. Oh, oh, you have so little faith. Don't doubt it, don't doubt it. Victory is in the veins. I know it, and I will not negotiate. I'll fight it, I will transform. When the fire's at my feet again, and the vultures all start circling, they're whispering, you're out of time, but still I rise. This is no mistake, no accident. When you think the final nail is in, think again. Don't be surprised, I will still rise. I must stay conscious through the madness and chaos. So I call on my angels. They say, oh, you have so little faith. Don't doubt it, don't doubt it. Victory is in your veins. You know it, and you will not negotiate. Just fight it, and be transformed. When the fire's at my feet again, and the vultures all start circling, they're whispering, you're out of time, but still I rise. This is no mistake, no accident. When you think the final nail is in, think again. Don't be surprised, I will still rise. I will still rise. Don't be surprised, you will still rise.
Thank you.
That was amazing. Oh my gosh. Like, what? Oh my God. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tikva Velasquez, and I have the honor of introducing our baccalaureate speaker tonight. So Val Shmerkovsky was born in Ukraine, immigrated to the United States as a child, and grew up in Brooklyn, New York. He's the first American to have won 2 WDSF World Championships in ballroom dance, and is a 14-time U.S. National Latin Dance Champion. As many of you may know, for many seasons he starred as a professional dance partner on ABC's popular show, Dancing with the Stars, where he has won first place twice. Val is also a classically trained violinist and a mentor in several inner-city public schools. He is co-founder and creative director of Dance With Me Studios, a national chain of dance studios, and author of national best-selling memoir, I'll Never Change My Name. Alongside his father and brother, Val has founded humanitarian aid fund, Baranova 27, through which they have sent over 140 tons of essential goods to the citizens of Ukraine. It is my pleasure to welcome Val to Chapman.
Thank you so much for that incredible introduction. That's pretty much my entire speech, so it's a pleasure to be here. First of all, congratulations to you guys. What an accomplishment. I'm not just saying that. To finish college, to finish a university of this stature is an incredible accomplishment, right? To set your goals at this high and actually see them through I think you're starting at a really great place. So whatever nerves you have moving forward, I think you can build confidence from that, right? Whenever I'm nervous, like for this, believe it or not, I've danced in front of millions of people. I don't think I've been this nervous in a really long time, I'll be honest. So just bear with me if I stutter. Angelique, she promised to hit a high C just to distract everybody. But yeah, it's an honor. And whenever I'm nervous, one of the things I say, and I say to my partners on Dancing with the Stars a lot of times, because again, they're not professional dancers. They are about to do something incredibly vulnerable. I say, we get together, we say a little prayer. And one of the things I kind of say, I say, go out there and dance with gratitude. And immediately when you say that, it kind of takes the attention away from you, right? It's about, I don't want to fail. As soon as you think of gratitude, you think of being of service to someone else. And immediately there's a little less tension, and immediately I feel a little less tension because I'm not here to do a great job. I'm here to serve someone else, right? To hopefully inspire you guys to celebrate tomorrow as best as you can, and then move on to whatever goals you have with great spirit. Being rooted in gratitude liberates and strengthens your spirit to pursue all the things that you want to pursue for yourself. And I think that's really important. And that's what my speech today will be about, how I navigated with gratitude through hardships while being able to give back to my community. But yeah, my name is Val Chmerkovsky. I have been your grandma's favorite for 12 years now. I've invaded your living room every Monday night for the last 12 years, ruined your Monday night football, fellas. I apologize. But yeah, it started long before that. I was born in Odessa, Ukraine. It's a beautiful city on the Black Sea. It's a melting pot city. I'm really proud of being born here. And it was known as the New Orleans of the Soviet Union. There's a lot of jazz, a lot of diversity, a lot of culture. But in the 90s, there was still a lot of conflict, a lot of tension. And so my parents picked up everything they had, their lineage, their friends, and they decided to move to the United States of America. And that was an incredible moment. We moved to Brooklyn, New York, which quickly, we realized America's not the same everywhere. It was not Orange County. And so a lot of life lessons began to unfold. Second day in America, after our initial day, we had some relatives gift us these rollerblades, and this is the famous rollerblade story. My brother and I like to share. Our second day in America, we went to the park across the street, and we're, struggling like Bambi in these rollerblades, and I'm Apollo Ono in them things. I'm talented from the get, and humble. So my speed allowed me to evade what ended up being, my brother got jacked for his rollerblades, and it was not the best way to be welcomed to the United States, but it was the most honest way to be welcomed. Something again, another challenge, another kind of moment at the time that was really scary for us that now, years later, I get to tell as an anecdote that I'm so proud of, right? So yet again, all those challenges will end up being awesome stories for you guys to tell one day. But yeah, we moved to New York, didn't know the language, didn't really have any job prospects. Obviously, I'm 8 years old, so I'm not working, but my parents, were very vulnerable. And I firsthand, I remember, yes, I'm young, but I'm still observant, and I see how much pressure is on my family. And my family was young. My parents were 35 years old. I'm 37. I just had a son myself, my first child, and it's been the greatest responsibility I've ever felt until your Dean Gale called me to speak for you guys. Responsibility is like, say something inspiring to the kids. They're graduating, they're looking at us. I'm like, I have to inspire a generation that has every single inspirational quote on the palm of their hand. You've been kind of bombarded with every theory and every way of what, and ultimately it's really about you. It's about being grounded in gratitude so that you could liberate your spirit to pursue your gifts and to be of service to your community. It's so incredible to walk this campus, get to know your deans and teachers. Congratulations to you guys, by the way. They're out. No more. They're gone. This is your accomplishment. And yeah, it's a really unique place. I think this is a really beautiful place to learn and to kind of build the tools that can equip you moving forward. But I digress. Back to Brooklyn, New York. So I started ballroom dancing. My parents put me into ballroom dance. Culturally, it was more acceptable. Not really sure why that was like a solid plan for a simulation in this country, but ballroom dance, that was it. Not a lot of ballroom dancers in Brooklyn. But I pursued my passion, and I quickly, excelled, and I quickly looked at it as my vehicle to, again, give back to my community. My community at the moment was my family, and I saw these two young parents working odd jobs, kind of swallowing their pride as they kind of reestablished and I like to say, wove themselves into the fabric of this country, right? There's a great deal of gratitude of being welcomed in this country. I would love to redefine the idea of what the immigrant spirit in this country is. The amount of patriotism that I feel being an immigrant is remarkable, and part of that was the journey in the beginning and seeing how my parents struggled, but how proud they were to struggle here, and how lucky we were to work hard here. And so, yeah, ballroom dancing was my vehicle. I excelled, I won, and I won a lot. I won more than DJ Khaled. I was winning all the time. I mean, I did an interview actually when I was like 14. I was on Sally Jesse Raphael. I don't know who knows what, but clearly you wouldn't, but it's okay, it's okay. And I was asked, like, why do you like to dance? And I was like, I like to dance because I like to win, So winning was a really big theme for me. But winning was really driven by the idea of winning so I could make my parents proud, so I could give back on their investment, on their effort into me. So that I could, ballroom dancing was not, competitive ballroom dancing was not popular in America, but it was really popular in Europe. It was very expensive to go there and compete. My parents saw my potential, and they were willing to, give up their last dollar for me to go and compare my talents on the biggest stage. And so going to Europe and, with a name like Valentin Chmerkovsky representing the United States of America, they questioned whether I was legit. Let me see your passport. I'm like, here's my green card. But yeah, it was a unique place. I found myself being an American overseas and a Russian in America, but I was Ukrainian, so that was really complicated. It's a lot more complicated now, but back then it was just as complicated to explain. But the point is that, I was driven initially by my tool of dance to accomplish something so that I could see the American flag raised at a world championship, that I became the first junior world champion ever for the United States of America. There was a great deal of drive and not just personal accomplishment, but really accomplishment on behalf of my community. Like I said, my community at the time was my family, seeing my parents proud, but also then became my country, and representing my country in a field that was, kind of placed us in a position of the underdog, and it was exhilarating. The thing about the World Championships, again, 15 years old, like how can that be the biggest, I peaked in high school, literally. But no, it was a huge accomplishment because it also was a month after 9/11. And, being adopted by this city and seeing, New York City hurt the way it did and this country hurt the way it did, really motivated me even more so. Yet again, proving that, accomplishing great things shouldn't solely be driven by your own personal accomplishment. It's whenever you're driven by accomplishment on behalf of something greater than yourself, I think, first of all, it's way more fruitful at the end of the journey. And secondly, you're not so stressed about the accomplishment as much as you're driven by, again, the process and the journey. So I got to hear the Star Spangled Banner, and that was an incredible moment. Years later, after DJ Khaled it through all of competitive ballroom dancing, I got a call to be on Dancing with the Stars. Incredible opportunity. I said no. They were like, why? Because I was a proud, broke artist pursuing my craft. And, you know, I wasn't gonna move to LA and sell out and you know, babysit celebrities on a reality show. Yeah, and I said no a couple of times. Actually, I said, you know, I said no to the show a few times, and I saw my peers blossom on TV and you know, bring their fame to a different level. But I was lucky enough that I didn't let my pride get the best of me. You know, I saw an incredible opportunity to not just continue to win. I kind of lost my drive in that regard. I accomplished that feeling of being of service to my family. My family went from greeting me at the airport after competitions with like balloons and flowers to just, you know, there was no Uber at the time, but just take a taxi, you know? So they were over it. I lost my why, and I joined Dancing with the Stars, and I'm glad I did because, you know, I came in with such bravado. I was like, man, I'm in the prime of my career. I'm physically fit. These guys been, you know, eating well for so many years. And now I'm here, and I got eliminated second, actually, my first season. I was terrible. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me because it not just humbled me, but it showed me that, okay, this is a new arena that I have to apply my tools in. And one thing I appreciate is that, you know, my little ego was stroked enough as a young kid where I didn't need the validation of a win. I was just excited about learning something new and accomplishing something new in a new field. I was proud to be a student. I think that's really important. Regardless of whether you graduate or not, moving forward, being a student and having that type of spirit is also really important, and it helped me a lot. And so I started doing Dancing with the Stars. For those people that are not familiar with Dancing with the Stars, basically, it's like an arranged marriage, right? So I have no choice with who I get partnered with, and you know, the casting director pairs us up with celebrity partners, and they come from all different walks of life. Some are actors, some are singers, athletes, some are pleasant, some are less pleasant, some are the most pleasant at a distance, you know, so it really created a different challenge, right? It's all in the space of dance, you know. At the end of the day, I preach the gospel of dance. That's my vehicle to connect to people. That's the reason why I'm here. And that's so incredible because in the face value of like dance, when you're starting out to dance, I never thought that it would take me to a place where I get to be in this prestigious position to talk to you guys. So dance was my vehicle, but really I got a chance to reinvent my relationship with dance on Dancing with the Stars because I now found myself being of service to someone else. You know, it wasn't about how nice my Czech New Yorker, whatever, it's a tight suit, was, but it was about, again, you know, in ballroom dance, we call this position shadow position, right? So first of all, none of these accomplishments I did on my own, right? So I was partner. I compete in ballroom dancing, which is a partner dance. And side note, what a pleasure it was for me to build camaraderie with a young woman, with a female partner, with the ability to not just be isolated in a fraternity or sorority type of setting, but I got to be teammates with a girl that we won together, we lost together, we cried together, we celebrated together. And so, just FYI, this wasn't only my accomplishment. But yeah, on Dancing with the Stars, I got a chance to really use my tools of being a dance teacher and a dancer to empower someone else. And it's, you know, for those of you that are familiar with Dancing with the Stars, you know, you hear the word journey a lot. You see a lot of celebrities that have accomplished incredible things be out there like, man, that rumba was just the greatest thing, you know, ever felt, because it's all relative. It's all relative. Regardless, this whole world, we're making things up as we go along. And that's another message. It's like, make up the world that you want to live in. Not just for yourself, but also around you. And it's so incredible because this campus is a reflection of you guys. That's the one thing that I saw in the deans and the teachers, is that like they are of service to you. And I know all teachers, all good teachers, are, entered their careers to be of service to their students, but you could really feel it here. And Dancing with the Stars, right? So it's incredible to have seen such accomplished people break down, because again, it's all relative, and putting yourself in a vulnerable place is really important. And when you do find yourself in a vulnerable place, like potentially some of you might find yourself moving on from graduation, it's again back to the topic matter here. It's really important to root yourself in gratitude, because it immediately allows you to breathe, trust your track record, and realize that it's not just about you and your accomplishment. It's about you and the energy that you put out into this world. And the world reciprocates very well. And so I felt that firsthand. One of the partners that I had a chance to be mentored with or partner with on Dancing with the Stars is Zendaya. And at the time, she was a Disney kid. She was 16 years old. It was like my 5th season on the show. I just got into the groove of like taking my shirt off and like really, like owning my macho. You know what I'm saying? I was really in it. And all of a sudden, this girl, 16-year-old girl, comes in, and obviously my whole approach changes. Here I felt this incredible responsibility to not just be her partner, but obviously be a guide. I felt really proud to obviously be her guide into this new world that she was entering, but I felt an incredible responsibility to help inspire her, and like I said, use dance I immediately recognized the talent. And I really wanted to capitalize on this opportunity to plant like a small seed of something, like even if she walks away from this with one, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail, like one of those things. Like if she takes away anything from this experience, I'll feel so proud. And that was a really pivotal moment in time on Dancing with the Stars for me. We didn't end up winning, we lost, and she was by far the best dancer. So it was my loss. I didn't do a good job, right? I didn't give her the choreography at the end that would have given her the chance to win. And that's maybe right or wrong to think about, but it is a, accountability that I have, because at the end of the day, that was my responsibility. But there was so many lessons learned that allowed me to then move on and win twice. I didn't say it. But yes, Gail mentioned it. I did end up winning twice later on. But really, it was another moment where, and maybe at the time I didn't realize, but in hindsight, for sure, I look back and say, that was the best loss, one of the best losses I've ever had, because, I went on to do some great things, and Zendaya, I think, went on to do some great things too. So it worked out. One of the people that, as I mentioned, I have an older brother. His name is Max. Those that are familiar with the show, you've probably heard him say really irresponsible things. But he was also on the show for a long time. And he stopped being a pro on Dancing with the Stars, but last year he had a pleasure of being invited as a head judge on the Ukrainian Dancing with the Stars. And we were so excited. It was such an awesome moment. Because it was like this beautiful full circle moment, right? To be invited back to the country that you were born in, to do the thing that you love to do. And he was actually really popular in Ukraine. He's like really famous, believe it or not. He's like, George Clooney and Harry Styles had a baby. That would be Max in Ukraine. So he's killing it, and we're so proud of him. And it was crazy. So last year, February 24th, he called me in the middle of the night. And again, we don't tend to cry to each other that often, but he was crying. Obviously, I had the news on. I'm not, I know what's going on. And he happened to be in Ukraine, in Kyiv, at the time when the war started with Russia, and the invasion is coming. And again, now, a year removed, we could look back and we see different realities. But at that moment, I don't know if you can recall, like, it did not look very good for Ukraine at all. And he was in the middle of that. And that was a really scary time for my family and I. And I find it, this dark irony about the fact that my parents were now, in America, while their son, partially why they moved from Ukraine to America was that my brother was becoming of age to be enlisted into the military, and they wanted to avoid that. And, like I said, we got lucky to move to the United States. Now he is back in Ukraine in the middle of this conflict. It was a really tough time. 10 days, he couldn't get out. Thankfully, we had the resources to navigate him out of Ukraine, and he came to America, and he came home. He got to see his family, his kid, and it was a beautiful time. But it was a very conflicting time because, and I don't like to use the term survivor's guilt, but it for the first time I realized what that is. He was in this fortunate situation, and at the same time feeling incredibly guilty for his peers that were not lucky enough to leave their country. And ultimately, lucky enough to leave. This is their country. This is their home. They're not going to leave. And a lot of them didn't leave and wouldn't leave. And so being in America, being in the safety of this place, with my father and my brother never having the experience of running a charity or fundraiser or any of that like humanitarian aid effort, we wanted to do something. And so we we're like, what are we gonna do? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. What do we we're like, let's just start something, right? Let's just take that first step. And we just said, hey, we found this warehouse. Thank you. Time's up. All right. And I hope you guys had a good time. We found this warehouse in Fort Lee, New Jersey that was donated to us. I was able to use the community that I was able to garner through Dancing with the Stars. I called on that community to help, send any sort of humanitarian aid you can, and we kind of made a list of the things that were necessary. We were able to communicate with Ukraine, with people in Ukraine, with the necessities that they needed. And it was a really special time because over the weekend, literally, we came up with this idea on a Friday, which was 10 days after the war started. And on Sunday, there were at least 300 volunteers at the warehouse. We've 6 Amazon trucks every single day around the corner unloading donated aid. It was incredible. And slowly it turned into like this huge organization. And now we are a 501c3. We're a legit charity. We figured it out. And we figured it out with the help of, again, volunteers. And, to me, it wasn't just my close proximity to the cause. It was my close proximity to being a human being that was grateful for his circumstance and saw some really tough things happening across the world and decided to do something. So, in 6 months, we were able to collect and ship out over half 500,000 pounds of humanitarian aid. And I'm talking about like from collecting it to on a ship out. Those logistics take forever to establish. We had no idea even where to call. And again, when you lead with gratitude and when you lead kind of with the sincere desire to help, you will be surprised how you can galvanize people to follow you, and not just follow you, to join you and be kind of alongside for this incredible journey. So it was, full circle. I say that a few times this speech, but that Baranova 27 effort was the closest thing that I have ever seen since 9/11, and just how people got together. And it had nothing to do with having any connection to Ukraine. It was like every single person from every single walk of life. And to me, it taught me, you know, regardless of whether I'm connected to a cause or not, I will always show up. If you call, and if I can, and if I'm able, I will show up and I will march alongside, just because at that moment of vulnerability and helplessness, I felt the power of numbers and the power of support. And with that came incredible gratitude. And I think part of that was because we opened up our hearts and we kind of opened up our intentions, we were able to get that reciprocated. And that was a beautiful thing. I will say one last thing, and this thing I will read if you don't mind, because I don't want to mess it up. It's not about necessarily winning a world championship or a Mirror Bowl trophy, nor is it about starting a successful charity. I think it's all about pursuing your passion and doing so with gratitude. It's about being excellent and using that excellence to be of service to others, big or small. Regardless of the uncertainty, and you will experience a lot of it throughout your life, if you use your tools not just for self-improvement, but for bettering the community around you, and that could be just one other person, if you do that no matter what you pursue, and no matter what challenges you're facing, you will always land on your feet, filled with purpose and a sense of accomplishment. When we immigrated to New York, 2 weeks after settling, my father wrote on the kitchen wall in his, at the time, non-existent English, "I want we not to just survive, but to develop." Till this day, that resonates with me, and I hope it can leave an impression on you as well. This life doesn't get easier. It's you as an individual that is going to get stronger and stronger. And as you do, as you navigate through life, make sure you live with passion, seeking not just to survive, but to develop. Develop yourself and help develop the world around you. Thank you so much. You did it. I really appreciate your time. Honestly, off the page, I'm so jealous of you guys. Like, it's such an accomplishment. You have youth, you have brilliance, you have incredible guidance, you have every tool in the world to succeed. And again, what is success? Success is, again, when you lead with gratitude, success is just around the corner. So good luck, and we're a community now. So whatever I can be of service to you, tickets to Dancing with the Stars. I'm sure there's a teacher you could bribe, a grandma you could make amends with. I'm here for you guys. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story with us. My name is Emma Drake, and I'm graduating with a Bachelor of the Arts in Peace and Conflict Studies. I'm also a part of Chapman Disciples on campus, and I'm a docent here at the Fish Interfaith Center. Almost 100 years ago, and for many years after at Chapman University, graduates participated in what was called an ivy chain ceremony. The graduates would all stand in a large circle holding a chain of ivy. The whole student body could do that back then because over 100 years ago there were less than 100 graduates here. The president of Chapman University would then walk around the circle and cut the ivy so each student could take a piece of the chain to plant wherever they were going after graduation. As we contemplate dancing into our purpose, we realize it is as important to think about what we will take with us, but it may be just as important to contemplate what we are leaving behind, what we need to let go of as we graduate. What I'm leaving behind at Chapman is these close-knit communities that I've constructed throughout my time here. They won't be fully gone, but their nature will be changing.
What I'm taking with me as I'm on my path to my calling is this learned awareness of how my actions are the ultimate expression of my values.
Hi, my name is Anais Padilla. I am graduating with a BA in psychology, and I was proud to be the Interfaith Council president for the past 2 years. I was also a student docent here for the past 4 years. What I'm leaving behind are the insecurities in my ability to succeed. And what I'm taking away as I walk away from Chapman is confidence in my abilities and in my future.
Hi everyone, my name is Ramzi Elshwick. I'm graduating with a BS in Environmental Science and Policy on Saturday evening, and I was the former president of the Muslim Student Association here at Chapman. I will be leaving behind the community that I fostered here and the home that I've built the past 4 years. What I'm taking with me as I go on my next step in my journey is empowerment in my ability to foster and build community wherever I go, and I have the tools to build a home wherever I go.
My name is Tikva Velasquez. I'm graduating with a BFA in television writing and production. I've also worked for several years as a Fish Interfaith Center docent. And as I graduate Chapman, I am leaving behind a constant fear of the unknown. And as I leave Chapman, I am taking with me the ability to embrace an unknown future and be excited about the endless possibilities in front of me.
Hello, everyone. My name is David Konigsberg. I'm going to be receiving a BS in Business Administration here at Chapman, and I represent the Chabad on campus here at Chapman University. Something that I will be leaving behind here at Chapman is the wonderful Jewish community here at a home away from home, a very interactive rabbi and community that made me feel like I have a presence here on campus. Something that I am taking with me is something I believe that makes us all very unique as human beings, and that's the memories I took with me here at Chapman. I will never forget and will take to my grave.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ananya Pochiraju. I am graduating with a degree in Business Administration, and I was the president of the South Asian Student Association for the last 2 years. One thing I am letting go of is the belief that the greater things in life will reveal themselves through instant gratification. One thing I've learned about my purpose that I am taking with me is that living authentically and intentionally will serve me best as I navigate through the next chapters of my life.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Helen Lee. I am graduating with a BA in psychology. I also have been the president of Intervarsity Christian Fellowship for the past year. And as I move on from Chapman, I am leaving behind self-doubt and insecurity. And one of the greatest things that I've learned for the past 4 years is having compassion for myself and other people.
We now want to give each graduate here the opportunity to contemplate these two things. What are you letting go of, and what are you taking with you from Chapman as you move forward to discover and live out your purpose? We invite each of you to come forward, if you are willing today, to take the opportunity to drop a heart into the water, symbolizing what you are letting go of, and to receive a piece of ivy as well as a packet of sunflower seeds, the Ukrainian symbol of peace and resilience. These symbolize what you are taking with you. We hope you will take these with you to plant wherever you are going. You will not say your thoughts out loud like we did a few minutes ago, but think about them and hold those thoughts in your heart. We now invite you, row by row, to move forward silently to the station over there. Thank you.
What an incredible night. Gail, thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be a part of this beautiful evening. You all are extraordinary. I was trying to think of something poignant to say. Val's speech in talking about gratitude, I think is just, it's everything. Gratitude is everything. Please remember that he said that. And what you're leaving and taking away, wow. Blown away that at that age you even know that those are things you should be leaving and things you should be taking away. So you guys are just phenomenal. I know you're going to go on to do great things. I'm singing Here Comes the Sun. Please don't ever let anybody dim your light.
Here comes the sun, little darling. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. But here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. And I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. But here comes the sun, little darling. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. 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 Little darling, I feel the ice slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. But here comes the sun, little darling. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, sun, sun. Here it comes.
Thank you. I love y'all. God bless y'all. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
If there are notes on this page, I can't see them, so I'm just Thank you. Thank you, Val and Antonique, so much. Just what an incredible evening. And thank you. Thank you, everyone, who's been here this evening. I'd like to invite you to a reception in the outside in the piazza, not in the piazza, Fashionable's Courtyard. That's in, I told you I can't see my notes. So it's Fashionable's Courtyard right out here. My eyes are full of tears. And we will wait a moment for the graduates to recess out, and you'll have a chance to meet these fabulous people that you just heard sing and speak. And now I just wish you deepest, deepest blessings. May you go in peace. Amen.